feedback. I got them stumped.
Yeah, I definitely think that, everyone is going to have a reality check, whether you're a buyer or seller. But some of us that have been in the market for a time, we know that markets go up and down. So for sellers, definitely, you're not going to have that anticipation and like maybe 20 or 30 offers on your house. And you have to kind of live in reality. And hopefully the agent that you're working with is kind of giving you a little bit of that reality check and kind of coming up with some strategies and tactics of how to navigate through that. And also for the buyer, also maybe there's other strategies and tactics. I know you guys talked about it on the last show about possibly buying down the rate and looking at adjustable, rate mortgages, which we haven't seen in so long. But there's tactics that you can use. But again, really working with your professional to kind of come up with that strategy.
And you bring up an excellent point, how you wrap that all up. You've got to have a professional that has that depth of knowledge about being resourceful to come up with that strategy.
Yes.
What did this neighborhood sell for last month? You really got to lean into the data, because that's why people rely on you.
And to that point, when it comes to the buyers, what I'm telling my buyers is there are more options available for you. So because the market has shifted, we are seeing, like I said, more options available. So if you look at the Sacramento Association of Realtors housing statistics, in April 2022, the months of inventory was 0.4. So what that means is if there were no other homes that were presented to the market, it would take 0.4 months to sell the existing inventory. In May of 2022, that number shot up to 1.4, so more than tripled. So now buyers, they have an opportunity to have more some negotiating leverage, right? So they can now offer at list price, sometimes under list price. They also have an opportunity to negotiate seller concessions. I'm seeing that more. And to your point, Suzette, to ask the seller to buy down the interest rate. So because there is more inventory, there's more options for buyers. And so those buyers who may have decided to exit the seller's market when there was the frenzy and they were getting beat out by 17, 18 offers, they now can re-enter the market, or for those that have continued, stay in the market and turn that hopelessness that they once felt into hope. Right. They can still be a homeowner. And then from the seller side, to your point, the 17, 20 offers on a house, those days have come and gone. So it is more important for sellers to strategically and competitively price their homes. And to your point, we can't go 6 months back. Like we have to look at just a few weeks ago, a month ago, you know what I mean? And then also making sure that they take the time to really present the best product, which is their house. And making sure they do the deep clean, the declutters, the depersonalization, so that they can ensure their house is the star of the MLS show to really look better than their competition.
I definitely want to add one real quick thing onto that is that the market's going to go up and down. That's just how it goes. And people have bought and sold in up and down markets. Investment property is different, but if it's something as far as a new home buyer or seller that wants to move up or move down, your goal is your goal. So you should always do whatever it is that's best for your family. And then getting with that professional that's going to help you create those strategies and tactics that, like Chanel was saying, there's all these things that you need to do to get and reach your goal. Because again, the market's going to go up and down. You can always refinance. There's all kind of things you can do. But again, your goal should be your goal.
And so with my buyers that I'm currently working with is to reduce that fear. Because right now there is a lot of fear and uncertainty. And I think it's important to remind them that we're almost going, while Sacramento's cooling off, we're in this hot market, people are flooding in from the Bay Area, we're kind of going back to our normal. So it's important to kind of eliminate their fears with the reality of really what it was, because those 2% interest rates was unheard of. It was something that was never done before, which excited a lot of people, and it made it where, yes, your mortgages were cheaper, but it's still kind of that reverse where it starts balancing itself out.
A very energetic conversation about the market, and we're going to continue. But first, I want to allow my guests to introduce themselves, and we're going to start with Miss Chanel Stafford, because she's the broker and owner of Premier Diamond Realty. And I want you to tell the folks who you are and all about Premier Diamond Realty in under 60 seconds.
So my name is Chanel Stafford, born and raised in Sacramento, California, graduated from Christian Brothers, traveled 3,000 miles away to Howard University, the real HU, and then came back to Sacramento, where I basically had a long-standing career in pharmaceutical sales. So I used to sell drugs legally for 15 plus years. And then basically decided to transition into real estate. So just kind of going back a little bit, my grandfather, who's a patriarch of our family, he's the one that really introduced us to real estate. And so he's an investor. My parents are investors. And so they showed me the significance of owning properties, and they showed me the value of owning multiple properties to create generational wealth. And so fast forward to 2014, I got my real estate broker's license. Fast forward to 2020, there were two major things that happened. Number one, a pandemic, which we all experienced. And number two, my daughter graduated from high school. And as a result, I had some time to really reflect on what is my passion, what is my purpose, and what did I want the next phase of my life to look like. And all roads led back to real estate. And I wanted to really educate our other people, particularly our community, on real estate, and also to be an inspiration to others that no matter your circumstances, whether you are divorced, been there, whether you were a single mom, been there, whether you have bad credit, whether you have money saved up or not, that you can realize your dream of home ownership if you devise a plan, you work with a realtor as well as a lender to make sure that you stick to the plan. And I wanted to be the one to really guide others down a path of home ownership.
And I also have to add that Chanel was just featured in the Sac Cultural Hub magazine as a second generation Black real estate professional. Mm-hmm. And we want to congratulate you on that, because there were several people that were honored, and it is a great write-up, and it is a testament. And like I said to you all earlier, this particular group of people, this is not the average 80% that jump into the real estate market. Y'all heard her story. You heard that she's been divorced, she's been a single mom, she has had regular people challenges.
Yep.
You become magical when you persevere through your trials and your testimonies, and you have this testimony because of that. Yep. Black girl magic don't just happen because somebody sprinkles some pixie dust on you.
Right. And you become relatable. Other people can see themselves in you, and they can have hope that the dream of home ownership is not too far-fetched for them.
Right, exactly. Next, we have, thank you for that. Thank you. Next, we have Miss Suzette Loggins, and she is an agent with Premier Diamond Realty. I was going to say team member, because they are the Diamond Duo.
Yes.
Take it away.
Hi, my name is Suzette Loggins, and before I got into real estate, I was actually going to college to be an electrical engineer with a minor in computer science. And my third year in, someone stopped me at lunch, and they were asking me about real estate. I was like, didn't even know anything about it. They were like, you can make some money. So of course, like, I'm always a fact finder. So I start digging deeper. I started taking some real estate courses and became a realtor at 20. And me and my husband ended up buying our first house at 21. And that just kind of made me so motivated and had a really love and passion for real estate, especially because I was actually born in Central America. And my mom brought us here to live the American dream. And one of the reasons that we come here to live the American dream is home ownership is a big part of it.
Right.
So my passion is definitely to help families, and I've been able to help family buy homes. The first, person in a family buying homes. I've helped multiple family members build wealth.
Right.
And I just really love what I do, because I think that people feel like it's so far out there, and it's really a mindset I'm going to do this. And I think people that are listening that have came from other countries, you come here and you're like, you just have a hunger.
Right.
And that hunger that I have to help people. And this is the avenue that I have chosen to do that. That's why I've stayed in the business for so long.
And all of the ladies said that it's going to take you having representation of an agent who is resourceful, who has access, who can help you think about what other options are. What are your alternatives? What things can you do? And they mentioned some of them. What were the suggestions? The rate buy down, asking for seller credit,
concessions.
seller concessions.
Yeah, one of the things that we didn't really mention is about just having an agent that, like all of us, we know how to talk. And a lot of times it's building that relationship
Absolutely.
with whoever you're submitting that offer to, because a lot of people, like I list properties and people send me blind offers and it's crazy.
Really?
Like, so if you're going to have an agent as a buyer, you want that agent to be hustling for you and out there grinding and
Right.
finding you that property.
Right. The other thing that I wanted to point out was we talked about the list prices, the houses being overpriced because sellers and listing agents are looking at data that's no longer, you're weighing that data against new interest rates. And these buyers now are down in another category. So sellers and listing agents, what I thought about is if I list this property. So for example, to have to get acclimated to even more, it mentally, there's a psychological transition that has to happen. People are going to need time to get acclimated to making these $3,000 and $4,000 house notes.
May I share something?
Yes, ma'am.
And it goes to a mindset. I was looking at stats through the National Association of Realtors, and in California, which is super sad, 32% of Black people own homes. So when you're saying these numbers, and the first thing I thought about, I don't want our people out there to get scared. I do not want you guys to get scared. Work with someone that the Fed has already said for the last year that they're going to raise the rates.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure all of us have talked to our buyers and said, buy now, buy now, buy now. But the rates are high right now,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not unattainable. We can put some things in place to get you into a home. So
Right.
again, don't want to get people scared because there are ways for you to buy a house.
And I think that's how we control the dialogue. It's kind of how we present it to our clients while we continue to say the rates are high. I always tell my clients the rates are going back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a volume of resources out there that can help you with those fees. But you've got to have the right person there willing to help you.
Absolutely.
And we all want to see everyone have the American dream
Right.
of home ownership. It's not about $1 for us. It's really about rebuilding and reestablishing what we are all deserving.
Helping
of.
people to be self-sustaining.
Yes.
Chanel.
I was just going to say, what's the alternative? Is it renting? Because we also know that rental prices have significantly increased. And I know that there are several people who inconveniently had to move because that homeowner decided to sell their home.
Yeah.
And so now they're forced to move within 60 days, and find a house that maybe they don't really like.
Where the rents are higher than a mortgage.
Yeah.
Exactly. And every year when that lease, terminates, guess what? The rent is going up again. And so in this market, the rents are almost comparable to a mortgage payment. So again, just getting creative and determining how can you be a homeowner and utilizing resources like us, realtors, lenders. We can set you on the right path to become a homeowner and realize your dream. And sometimes home ownership doesn't mean you get to buy today.
Exactly.
Sometimes devising the plan, it may be a 1-year plan, it may be a 2-year plan. And so I know for Suzette and I, we have some buyers that we're working with that aren't necessarily ready today, but they will be ready within 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
And so again, as a buyer, if it's what you want, you have to be disciplined. So when your friends are going to Vegas and they're going to have a good time, or your friends are going to Essence Festival,
you gotta have
you gotta have that tunnel vision to say, I can't make this year's trip
right.
because I have to save my money so
For
that
my
I
house.
Exactly.
And it makes those
Take
hard
sacrifice.
It makes those hard conversations. I had one family member like 5 or 6 years ago, and no one in the family ever owned a house. And I had to tell them, you cannot pay your family bills. Like when your brother calls you because he can't make his car payment, you are going to buy a house. You got to tell them no. They're not going to like you for the next year. But a year later, they were able to buy a house. Then I was able to get the brother a house. I was able to get the cousin a house. Now there's like 4 people in that house. In that family that own a house because that one person made the hard decision.
Yeah.
That's that one.
Yeah. Those are those tough conversations. We're going to take a break on time. Hey everyone, we're back. You're listening to 97.5 FM 𝘾𝙤𝙤 Selling Sacramento with me, Agent Key, and my special guest today, the Selling Sacramento Buyer Squad. Part 2. And I want you ladies to take an opportunity to tell people how to reach you if they want to utilize your services after hearing all these wonderful things about how strong you are, how you're going to represent them, how you're going to close transactions for them. How do they reach you?
So I am Suzette Loggins on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Real Estate Made Simple too, because I make it simple for you to get into real estate.
And your phone number, ma'am?
916-524-0828.
One more time. Somebody ran to get a pen.
Yes, get a pen. 916-524-0828.
All right.
And you can reach me on Facebook at Chanel Stafford, as well as Instagram at Chanel R. Stafford. My name's CHANELRSTAFFORD. And then you can go to our website at www.pdiamondrealty.com. So I look forward to chatting with you soon.
And your phone number?
Oh, and my phone number is 916-601-2864.
One more time.
916-601-2864.
And you can also reach all of them on my website at agentkey.com, agentkee.com. If you click on the Buyers tab, a drop-down menu will appear and it says Selling Sac Buyer Squad. So click on that and you will see all their information. And as I said, you're going to be seeing a lot more of them because we are training them up in the way that they should go. And it's really not hard to do because they're all going that way anyway. We're just pouring into the ground that's already fertilized, right?
Right.
Yes.
I want to make a quick plug for
Yes,
Monday Moments with Suzette and Chanel.
Oh,
Every
yes.
Monday we
Yes.
post some really good videos that have really good information. So remember to follow us.
They are very entertaining. Very entertaining. They are into that what you call it? What's that?
The reels.
The reels, yeah.
Yes.
Real estate reels. Who says real estate can't be fun? So of course we like to educate and encourage, everyone to be a homeowner, but why not have fun along the way?
And they're very creative.
And I just start putting them on shorts. So anyone that's on YouTube, we have a lot of shorts out there now too.
That's awesome. Before we go, I want a positive side to this. As we are saying that interest rates are returning to normal, you're looking at it like, well, the prices aren't going down. Yes, they are. So hang in there. Don't give up. Your time is coming. One of the ladies mentioned, no, both Chanel and Suzette mentioned, sometimes it takes you to set up a plan to be ready. Sometimes you're not ready right now. So while we are possibly going to see home prices drop over the next few years, because inventory is sprouting up like bad weeds, but it's a good thing. You go to bed and the yard is clean, you wake up, there's a weed. That's what housing is about to look like. And so with more inventory, with increased supply, comes less demand on individual properties. And so that means that sellers are going to be forced to put the houses on the market at a more competitive price, making it more affordable. So as those rates are now higher, the prices will adjust themselves accordingly. The problem we had over the past couple of years is that there's not been enough inventory. So we're not going to see people, outbidding each other and prices increasing as inventory comes on the market, because there's going to be more of it to go around as time goes by. So that's my speculation based on the data, not a crystal ball, right? Any closing thoughts before we close out, ladies? Anything you've been dying to say?
I mean, we always tell you, but I always have to end every conversation with thank you for always pouring into us, trusting and believing in us, and giving us the blueprint.
My
Yes.
We
pleasure.
love you.
Yes.
And I'm proud of all of you.
Yes.
I can genuinely and authentically say that. Y'all are the bomb.com. You are what an agent is supposed to be. And I'm just so proud of you. And anyway, we got to go. It's been a great show. He's shaking his head. And remember, if you are doing what you were created to do, I will see you at the top. Bye. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.